Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. What are the top brands, top quality brands of tennis rackets? Stay tuned. Hot Brew coffee sponsor of the day, Craig Kwan. Craig writes, "Great stuff. Enjoy the Joe." Thank you, Craig. I will. If you want to support my coffee habit network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. Thank you all in advance, and thank you everyone for keeping the coffee train rolling. I appreciate you. Question from viewer today, Timothy O'Kane. Top quality tennis racket brands. Timothy writes, I'd say top 3 best quality tennis racket frame brands are, we got Yonex, Tecnifibre, Volkl, with a caveat he wrote. Volkl were much better, but still very good. And he also writes, I hear Solinco rackets are top quality too. Thank you, Tim. Well, Tim, there are actually reasons behind why I'm guessing you say this, because, there is some truth to it. Let me just quickly explain a couple things here. Back, I want to say 30 years ago, there were more manufacturers, more plants making tennis rackets. As of now, there are only 3 that I know of in the world, 2 of which are in China and 1 is in Japan. And obviously the one in Japan is run and owned by Yonex. So their high-end rackets are manufactured out of there. So you can plainly see by their rackets that the bottom actually says Japan. Yonex actually utilizes one of the plants in China to manufacture their slightly lower end rackets. If you've ever seen like an E-Zone 108, some of those are made in China. Like the older models I know are made in China. A lot of those Aces, the E-Zone Aces, are made in China. So take a look at your racket. It's not fake. Because I've had a lot of people come in with Yonex rackets that are not like E-Zones or V-Cores. And they're like, is this a fake? It says China on it. No, it's actually real. They don't have the manufacturing capacity to make those lower end rackets, and it was just easier for them to just outsource that to a China plant to make it, because those are bigger and they can actually do a lot more rackets than they could in-house. So yeah, don't be surprised if you see a China-made Yonex, because they do use those plants. Now, as far as the other 2 plants go, those 2 plants make rackets for everybody else in the world. The Wilsons of the world, the Babolat's of the world, Tecnifibre, you name it, Head. That's where those rackets are made and built and produced. So we got 2 big manufacturers in China making pretty much the whole world's rackets except for Yonex. So what does that tell you? Well, Yonex controls their quality probably better because it's a smaller facility only doing their rackets. Therefore, they can have a hand in, the quality, right? They probably take a lot more time making their rackets, a lot more tedious in the quality control. So that's why, right? That's why Yonex is probably the best manufactured, the best quality, the closest to spec rackets on the market. So, but you know, when you so you said Yonex, Tecnifibre. So Tecnifibre is actually a French company. If you didn't know that, they're actually best known for strings. They're kind of coming into their own in rackets. You know, they have the top two players in the world, one on the ATP side, one on the WTA side, right? Medvedev and Iga. So they struck gold as far as I'm concerned. And their rackets are actually very, very high quality with great quality control. So what you see, yes, it's true. These guys do a great job in your manufacturing plant and making sure the rackets are, you know, as close to spec as possible. We can't make these perfect. Like no company, even Yonex, can't make them perfect to spec because that would be almost impossible. There's material things, climate, you know, people touching things. It's just so difficult to get it to let's say 1 gram, 2 gram differences. Everybody tries though. Everybody tries. Volkl always have made great rackets and good quality. I've known them since their inception. They were part of that ski company, Volkl, and then they kind of split off. I want to say about almost 20 years ago. So they're their own entity now. They were first with the ski company. Now they're their own racket company. But yeah, great quality control, manufacturing. Again, though, it is in one of those China manufacturers, but like I said, everybody else is too. And these guys keep an eye on that quality. So that's why you get the good products most of the time. All right. But that doesn't mean Banana's any worse. It's super popular. They mass produce this like anything else. So because they pump out so many of these, the quality is going to be a hair off sometimes. But I mean, because there are essentially 2 big manufacturers, all the quality it's at a high level. I mean, if you compare rackets with rackets that are 10 years old, 20 years old, the quality is at its best right now in the history of tennis rackets. So can you really say that, you know, these are better than the rest? Maybe a little. Solinco, as you know, just came out with rackets. And obviously, they're using one of the 2 manufacturers in China. So what I see is that if you're doing smaller batches, like Tecnifibre, they don't do a whole lot of rackets compared to like Babolat or Wilson. Yonex, obviously in-house, don't do a ton of rackets, but definitely do enough. Solinco too. Volkl, right? If you think about those 3 major brands, they do small batches. Therefore, their quality control is probably going to be much better, right? If you're baking a cake, do you want small batches of great cakes or a lot of batches of good cakes? Think about it that way. All right, guys, hopefully we talked a little bit and I've educated you about tennis manufacturing and quality of racket brands. Timothy, thank you for the question. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.
Oh, this could be it, Harry. Oh, Harry, great contact. Now, the idea, Harry, is we need it to land in the blue. I know you're kind of starting out here. Let's try it again, Harry. Somewhere in the blue space on the other side of the net. Harry, that's a great shot. I think you even hit it on the blue on court 3, Harry. It's okay. I didn't really specifically say our court. I just said blue. So, job well done. Let's try again. Keep it in our space on our court. Here it says number 1. Here we go, Harry. Give it a shot. Oh, Harry. No, I didn't say hit the number 1.
Want a coach with positive energy like Coach Rob? Find what your game is looking for at playyourcourt.com.
Oh, Harry, you swung and missed. I bet you can watch the ball a little longer. Try to keep your head still. Oh, Harry, nice try.